Okay, it looks like we're not dropping any frames at least. That's good. Can we get up on the crow's nest here? Wait, is that a hermit down there? No, that's just a named character. Okay, let's try this again. Hey, that was actually like almost exactly where I wanted to go. Cool. Okay. Let's try and get the recording going. Stop recording, start recording. Alright, it seems like it's working now. Okay. We have video. Excellent. Howdy, y'all. Whoops, didn't mean to jump there. I kind of liked it, though. Maybe I should jump every time I say howdy, y'all. Howdy, y'all. Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee. And today, on the Hermitcraft server, we are looking at a castle. You might be like, Joe, why are we looking at a castle? It's not the season premiere of Game of Thrones tonight. Well, you would be surprised, guys. I was actually supposed to attend a season premiere party of Game of Thrones at my studio space tonight. And so I preemptively had moved the computer out of there to my apartment so I could record afterwards from my home. And then when I showed up to watch Game of Thrones as scheduled, it turned out that Game of Thrones doesn't start this week. It starts literally some other time. I don't know. Wasn't my job to know when Game of Thrones started. But anyway, we are just falling into the ocean and making mistakes about schedules. Speaking of falling into the ocean, I actually went to an indoor water park this weekend. So that was kind of different. One of my daughter's friends was having a birthday at an indoor water park in East Tennessee. And I didn't even know these things existed. But apparently, if you already own like an outdoor water park, there's like a financial incentive to have a place for people to go, like if it's raining out in the summer or there's a lightning storm or something. And then at that point, like once you've already got this kind of like indoor water park set up for inclement weather in the summer, wow, sounds like some dogs are freaking out outside. We'll just let them calm down for a second, and then I'll fix that. I'll resume my little chatter. This is not as good a place to record as the actual studio, which has acoustic dampening and things like that. Dogs bark at every hour, guys. Dogs bark at every hour. Okay, it looks like a tweet has just gone out announcing that the stream is live, so that's good. Okay. Whew. So anyway, apparently once you already have this park set up, so apparently once you already have to have an inclement weather plan for your interior portion of the water park, dang it. Let's go ahead. Dang it. I think I was over here about when the dog started actually barking. So anyway, once you already have to have an inclement weather indoor water park for summer visitors, I guess it makes sense to kind of keep it open in the winter and the spring and the fall and all that too. So apparently all this time I could have been going to water parks in the middle of winter. I just didn't know. So now I do. I don't know what I'm going to do with that information. Maybe go to a water park, get on a tube, and then go down a slide. I don't know. I don't have a good plan with most of the information I glean, I'm realizing. Like, I'm just the sort of person who I learn things, and then they go in my brain, and then I know them for later. But I don't know why I need to know them. but it's good, I think, that I do. I don't know. It's not all actionable. Like, I'm not sure why I came in here. I know that here exists, and I'm doing this now, but, you know, that's okay. Oh, you know what I did this week that took a lot of time? Let's go look at the little nativity scene over here, because it's actually topical. No, I wasn't, you know, having a baby in a manger or anything. I was going to say, much like the Joe Hills with the little script over here. There's my little script pages for Zombie Cleo's nativity scene. But, yeah, much like the Joe Hills with all the little script pages over here, I was working on the recording for... Why do you guys keep talking about what day it is? Is it in the title of the YouTube chat stream? Oh, okay, I'll fix it. Nothing is going... I'm finally getting this recording going, and you guys are freaking out at me about the name of the stream. Thank you for the $1, Susie QZ 92Z. Appreciate that. How do I... Oh, yeah, they changed the Creator Studio, so the URLs are all different, so I can't enter URLs by typing them anymore. Thanks, YouTube. That's... Emily Hirschberger writes, we should stage a crucifixion because it's almost Easter. I'll talk to Cleo about that. That's a Zombie Cleo problem. She's our resident Roman. Our Pontius Pilate, if you will. How do I change... Okay, so I go to live streaming. Where is it? Why would I think it was a good idea to put the name of the day in the stream? Okay. There we go. I'll just set it to something that's going to be true, like, every day. Forever. Okay. Does that show up for you guys immediately? Thank you, Jason Wood. Does that show up for you guys immediately, or do you have to, like, refresh the page to see the name? Okay. People are saying they gotta refresh to see the name change. Welcome, Shang Xiong. Glad to see you tonight. Hopefully I spelled that right. I don't care if I spelled it right. I don't care. We're done. We're done. We're done changing things with YouTube settings. We have the stream working. So much like this adorable mannequin that Cleo set up in my likeness, I have been running around all week with a bunch of scripts trying to get our commercials out the door for the Sean Hills Sings Joe Hills album. I don't know if you guys saw that. We had one commercial go up announcing that it was going to happen on April 1st. And the joke was that we were announcing a Joe Hills Sings Joe Hills album, which would be a terrible idea. Nobody wants that. And really, the actual announcement was that there would be a Sean Hills Sings Joe Hills album coming soon. And we didn't know how soon would be. And we thought we had like a week or two to work on the second commercial, but it turned out that iTunes and all them went ahead and got the got the album uploaded and available for streaming on Spotify and all that stuff way faster than I was expecting. And so that meant that, you know, all of a sudden it's like, I gotta get this commercial made. I gotta borrow a stethoscope and a lab coat and do all sorts of stuff. Luckily, I'm the sort of person who can find people to borrow stuff from pretty quickly. So, yay. That really doesn't say anything about me. That says something about the people around me, that they're well qualified to loan me things. But, yeah, so I'm very fortunate to be part of a community where people are so helpful. And to have such good friends. But, anyway, if you haven't seen those commercials yet, you should check them out. My brother and I put a lot of work into them. I think they're really funny. They're some of the weirdest stuff I've ever made. And if you watch Joe Hill's videos, you know there's a lot of weird stuff. Now, in terms of what I hope to accomplish this episode, I really have not set great goals for myself. I'm just trying to get the computer working. I've had so many technical issues and things like that. Like, the fact that you guys are watching this video is a massive victory for me. One thing I do want to do is I want to check out this Blood Moon area up here, because I heard there was some interesting stuff happening with the tunnels. And, uh-oh, what happened here? Dang it! Now I've fallen in a hole. Okay, well, apparently there's either a baby zombie or a head on a post. Doc M was working down here recently, and I'm guessing this is his nightmare workshop. So, is there a good way to get back out of here? Whoa, apparently there is. I'm moderately successful at literally anything. Woo! Small victories. I'll take it. Okay. I'll take it. That is a very small victory. But it's a victory none the less. Okay. That looks like a really creepy face. Oh, it looks more like a face as you approach it. It's like, nom 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 nom. Sorry. Now that I've got a small child, I mean, which I guess I've had for 6 years now, I tend to anthropomorphize things and then go, nom 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 nom. Because it's fun. You know? You can just do that. You know what I'm really... You know, people talk on the internet about, like, stuff like that it took them too long to realize. You know, I'd always heard people talking about puttering around the house, which I thought was just, like, when I was, like, walking around the house, like, just kind of picking things up and moving them around. Not really, like, not cleaning with, like, a high degree of intention, but just kind of like, oh, you know, I should move this into this room, or I should... Oh, that needs to go over on the bookshelf, you know, just that sort of thing. Apparently, this whole time, I could have been making puttering noises like an engine. Like, I was doing that, I did that by accident one day. I was just, like, picking some stuff up to move it from, you know, the counter in the kitchen to the bookshelf. And I was like... And I was like, what? I could have been doing this the whole time. I'm like 30-something years old, and I just now realized that puttering around the apartment, I can make a puttering noise and be way happier. You know? Like, there's just little things that you can do all the time. All the time. And you don't think about it. And then when you realize, like, wait, that was always within my power? I could have always been doing that? You know, really? It's like, man... This seems like kind of a dangerous tunnel, but I'm guessing these buttons prevent ghasts from spawning in it. But, like, yeah, this would worry me that something would spawn and start shooting into there. Anyway, I didn't do a good job of actually exploring up in there because I got busy puttering around. But you can, too. So there's your take-home lesson for the episode. Okay, that's not... I keep thinking that these windows are tunnels, because I think Doc M was considering making diagonal tunnels. I'm curious. Whoa, I really do like... This architecture reminds me of certain, like, sailors' chapels I've been in. Sailors' chapels, they tend to, like, mimic the shape of a ship's hull, but inverted. And that's really cool. So, anyway. Yeah. It looks like he didn't do that on all of these. Is there a sign to say whose base this is? Orange terracotta donation chest. They need orange terracotta? Hey guys, we finally have an actual mission. Let's go get some orange terracotta so we can feel like we helped society this episode. I think that this is my... Oh, okay. Thank you, Elytra. Good Elytra-ing. Now we have a mission. We're gonna go down this tunnel to get some orange terracotta and put it in that chest. How much orange terracotta? Probably about 3 stacks worth. Probably 4 stacks. Well, we don't need 2 flint or 2 arrows. We'll just pick that stuff back up incidentally. Oh, hey, you want to know how to get rid of flint real well? Flint is actually not fireproof. So you can just throw it in there. Why do I have so many arrows? Oh yeah, because I was gonna go ahead and look for, what do you call those? A trident at one point. Man, I'm really good at goals. I like setting goals, but I'm not really good at is accomplishing goals. This is not the path I actually need to be on either. Okay, so let's go ahead and be on our way once we find the actual path we need, which is this one. Time skip. Stop recording. Okay. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Do 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 do. Oot do 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 do. A da 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 da. A la da 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 da. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Hey Joe Hills. Boom. I might put on some traveling music for this. Here's a song I wrote that my brother performed.
Folks say to be the very best, you gotta travel across the land. But I'm happy here at pretty good, just out walking with my friends. So you can fly from coast to coast for all the antics events. But my destiny's here in Tennessee, my Pokédex in hand. You run your laps chasing lickitung in Providence, and you arc your throws for Electabuzz in St. Louis. But when you're lost in Boston seeking Pokestops, boo-hoo, we'll all still be spinning them up on Rocket Top. It's true. Well, you can race to catch 'em all and fall flat on your face. We'll hatch our Togepi's here in Tennessee at our own predestined pace. We don't need Tanglers from Los Angeles. If you're there chasing Charizard, you're making your life way too hard. Clutching garlic, pounding pavement down Ventura Boulevard. We don't need Nidoqueens from down New Orleans. I hate to rain on Solo U, but parades need a willing crew. All those Squirtles on St. Charles saw you wandering and withdrew. Well, you can race to catch 'em all and fall flat on your face. We'll hatch our Togepi's here in Tennessee at our own predestined pace. We don't need Lapras from Minneapolis or Polipers from Mississippers. There's enough Weedles on Montego. We could evolve a swarm of Beedrill. There's enough Snubbles down to Shovel. We could team a sled with Rumble. We don't need Oregon from out in Oregon or any Pikachus from up in Massachusetts. Sorry, Professor Oklahoma, we'll raid gyms and catch on hikes in Chattanooga. Well, you can race to catch 'em all and fall flat on your face. We'll hatch our toga peas here in Tennessee at our own predestined pace. Well, you can race to catch 'em all and fall flat on your face. We'll hatch our toga peas here in Tennessee at our own predestined pace.
Oh yeah, I gotta stop that manually or the next song will start playing. You guys, it went a cappella. Yep, so that is a song that I wrote just this year, actually about a month ago, and we've already got it up on iTunes. That's progress. Most of the songs we put up on iTunes I wrote in like 2011 or 2012, or my brother wrote in 2011, some of them, or 2012. So we've been sitting on those a long time. It's good to get them out there for the whole community. That song was called My Destiny's in Tennessee. You can find it on Spotify, iTunes, Bandcamp, Tidal, Deezer, YouTube Music, Amazon Music, Google Play Store, Apple Music, like everything. It is out there. We got it published through DistroKid and it's on Spotify already, Timmy to Tim. Search for Sean Hills Sings Joe Hills on Spotify and you'll find it. Cheesiest says, it exists on my computer. I purchased the entire album for the low cost of $3.99. Thank you, Cheesiest. Also, some of you guys who tried to buy it on iTunes might notice Apple decided to charge $4.95 for that. We mentioned this in the commercial. We have no idea how to change it. We told them the price we wanted, and they said, no, you don't know the price you want. It's not a $4 album, it's a $5 album. And we're like, well, thanks. I'm glad you believe in us, iTunes, but okay. Good night, Megan Does Things. Have a good night. It's not available on 8-track for real yet. We're looking into some stuff like that as part of like a Kickstarter initiative, but we have to see how the digital sales do first before we try and do physical sales. But apparently we charted on the UK new folk music charts for one day. We were in 1135th, which is still on the charts. They kept track of it, which is better than usual. Normally, no music chart even bothers having us anywhere. So that's nice. I don't know. Why would it, music doesn't... It's not available on Vimeo because Vimeo is not a music platform. I'm hoping to multi-stream on the anniversary weekend. Although I'm going to be streaming from my apartment before my daughter wakes up. So we're going to possibly be dealing with... That's one of the reasons I'm trying to actually do this test stream from there today. Because it's not available on Netflix because that's not a streaming music platform. It's not going to get to #1 on Billboard. What time is that for me? It's like... I'm going to have to wake up at like 5 a.m. the day of the Hermitcraft stream. I think I'm starting at 6 a.m. my time. My daughter usually wakes up on weekends about 8:30 a.m. So I think I'm streaming from 6 to 8. But I'm streaming with Asuma, so if she wakes up early and I need to go help her with anything, I can. I'll just be like, okay, Asuma, be entertaining. And he'll be like, right, pip, pip, entertainios. And then he'll entertain people. I think that's how he does it. I don't know. It is available on Amazon.com. What's my upstream like at the apartment? It should be 10 megabits a second. That's what we're paying for. We're paying for business class internet. Because with my wife's university studies, she does like gigantic human biome or human DNA stuff, virus DNA stuff, where she might need to move 4 gigabyte files around. So between my video stuff and her schoolwork, it made sense to go with the business class internet when we moved here. Because it doesn't have any upstream caps on your overall bandwidth used for the month, and we had 10 megabits a second up. I think whatever was happening was something with the router, because clearly resetting the router helped. So yeah, you guys can chat in all lowercase so you don't wake my daughter. Thank you, I appreciate that. Xiong, we are also looking at vinyl. So the thing is, there's a lot of places in Nashville that do vinyl, but they do like a minimum of 500 records, and we don't know if we can sell 500 records. So we could do, if we do like 500 records, we could possibly get them made for like $5 to $10 a piece, but we don't have $2,500 to $5,000 to spend on printing vinyl right now. So what we might do is we might just make the records like a collectible thing, and then pay like, the thing is, it's like I'd rather pay $30 a record to print 10 records than pay $5 a record to print 500 records, because in one case I'm out $300, in the other case I'm out $2,500 to $5,000. Well, here's the thing, 10 Hades stamps. In an apartment complex, you don't always get to choose your internet. You sometimes have, limited choices. If you're in your own house in Lincoln, Nebraska, you get a lot more choices because you can run stuff. You can pay to have them run stuff to your property. Yeah, we are looking at a Kickstarter if we're doing the vinyl, but we need to see, before we can set the Kickstarter goals, we need to see what this is our first album ever, guys. We need to see what the demand is for the digital one. Because if only like 10 people got the digital one, then we're not going to... It takes a lot of effort to make the Kickstarter video and all that. So we know what to do if there is demand, but right now we don't know if there is demand, is kind of the thing. We have to see... And demand isn't just people asking for it. It's seeing how much people spend on buying it on iTunes and Amazon and all these other things. Because if people don't buy it or listen to it on Spotify, like, that just means it's not very good, and then we shouldn't waste time on a Kickstarter. We should waste our time trying to make something that is actually good, and then hopefully not waste our time. That wouldn't be a waste at that point. That would just be a good use of our time. If you live in an apartment building, a lot of times you can't choose your internet, guys. Do you guys not live in apartment buildings? I can't afford a house. I guess maybe your parents can, but your parents are probably older than me if you guys live with your parents, and probably didn't have as many student loans and stuff to pay off. We do have plans to write more songs, but part of that also depends on what the demand is like. I mean, I write songs all the time, just most of them don't end up getting shared with you guys because I'm not sure that they're any good. But yeah, to get a house, you have to be able to afford a down payment, and that requires saving a lot of money. And when you are spending all your money servicing your student loan debt and your other educational debt, then you can't save for a down payment because the interest rates on the student loans would basically eat any money that you were saving. You'd be better off just paying off the loans faster, which is what I tried to do. But now that the loans are paid off and I actually am able to start saving money, you can't just save up a down payment for a house in a few months. That's a long-term goal that can take years, so... Welcome, Matt Lewandowski. Yep. Okay, we can get, looks like 9 more. Yeah, my parents aren't giving me a house. They got 5 kids. They got, and they also need a place to live. So, yeah, it took me 10 years to pay off my educational debt. Graduated in 2008, and I paid it off, whoops, in 2018. This back corner is the way back down, right? Could have sworn that I had one of these corners be the pull you down one. I should be stream. Is Twitch not streaming? We're having all sorts of internet issues today, so I guess maybe I'm not streaming on Twitch. That wasn't a decision. That was the reality of what's happening. Apparently, sorry, Matt Lewandowski. Yeah, that's not a policy change. That's just, I don't know. The internet is giving me trouble. Yeah, I'm only streaming to YouTube today. 10 years is pretty quick. It shouldn't be. 10 years should be the longest it takes. How would I compare writing a song to writing a poem? Basically, very similar, but you have to think about a refrain. Like, most of the stuff I write doesn't have a refrain to it. So, like, the Lines poem I wrote became a song. Whoa! But it had a clear, like, repeated element that could easily be used as a refrain. Okay, so we're going to throw these over here, and then we're going to put the boat down. And I think we're going to start the recording again. Okay. Welcome, Aria Melendez. Glad to have you join the stream. Okay. Whoa, it's hard to arrange this properly. The Line song was the best one on the album, says Eric the P. Thank you. Yep. Okay. That one's already full. Dang it. Apparently they needed green terracotta, which I didn't realize. Okay. So let's go ahead and resume the episode here. Actually, let's resume the episode here. Dang it. I've been chewing on carrots and mining orange terracotta for so long, I don't remember which one I was supposed to put in this chest. So either way, I'm going to head over here to the south tunnel, and oh, it looks like orange terracotta. Great. So we're going to go ahead and grab all these stacks of orange terracotta, toss those in here. Now, I had heard that they're looking for other colors of terracotta for some of these other ones. Looks like they're looking for blue terracotta over here, light blue terracotta. I didn't bring any of that, unfortunately. Now, over on this side, can we actually make this jump? Well, that was a bad idea. They need green terracotta. Didn't bring any of that either. But, luckily, I did bring red terracotta, which we apparently are using for this tunnel. And so did everybody else. So, what we're going to do is we're going to dump that terracotta over in this chest. No, this chest. Yay. There we go. Look at that. We're helping the community. Good for us. I might not have accomplished much this episode, but what I did for others. So, I'm happy about that. Let me go ahead. You might have noticed that this episode was mid-roll ad-free. I'm going to go ahead and read a poem recognizing... Whoops. Let's go ahead and redo that. And I got a cough. Let me mute. You may have noticed that this episode of Hermitcraft was mid-roll ad-free. That's thanks to $50 a month Patreon sponsor. Let's start that over. Well, gentle viewer, you may have noticed that this episode of Hermitcraft was mid-roll ad-free. That's thanks to $50 a month Patreon sponsor EagleFam. In lieu of that mid-roll ad, I will now read a poem of my own devising. I call this poem, Like Your Enemy. I made war on the sea and became the waves. I made war on the peaks and became the stone. I made war on the heavens and became the sky. I made war on my neighbor and died, flesh and bone. Until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring. Okay, that wasn't a very good read. We're going to try that again, guys. Guys, just because I'm saying keep adventuring, I'm recording an episode. I'm not actually ending the stream right now. Let's try that again. I gotta clear my throat. Muting so I can clear my throat. Well, gentle viewers, you may have noticed that this episode of Hermitcraft was indeed mid-roll ad-free, and that's thanks to $50 a month Patreon sponsor EagleFam. In lieu of that mid-roll ad, I don't like having this. Is there a good way to get back up there? There we go. Here we go. Are the guests still hanging out there? No. Okay, cool. You may have noticed that this episode of Hermitcraft was mid-roll ad-free. That's thanks to $50 a month Patreon sponsor EagleFam. In lieu of that mid-roll ad, I will now read a poem of my own devising that I call Like Your Enemy. I made war on the sea and became the waves. I made war on the peaks and became the stone. I made war on the heavens and became the sky. I made war on my neighbor and died, flesh and bone. Until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring. What do you guys think? Was that a better read? I think that was a better read without the pauses before the ands. Because I made war on the whatever, like, it's, to get the meter right, I feel like it's just better to go straight through. And it carries the rhyme between stone and bone better, I think. Luna Lily says she liked the first one better. Okay. It was dramatic, people are saying. Okay. A little bit too aggressive for my tastes, says Billy C. Jonathan Cheslow says, I kind of like the first. The pauses make it more dramatic. Okay. Maybe... Okay, we got... People are saying it's like two different poems. Maybe I need to... Okay, Mama Minor Tech and Rowan Rawat said they liked the first one better. We got enough people that like the first one better that I think I'm going to try... I had a really long pause on the first read. Rosh Kavar says, I made war on makes it inherently aggressive. Yeah, this is a reference to Sun Tzu... saying that when you make war on someone, you become like them. So I'm thinking I'm going to do a short pause So I've done long pause and I've done no pause. We're going to try it with a short pause for this read. Okay. We're still recording. You may have noticed that this episode of Hermitcraft was mid-roll ad-free. That's thanks to a $50 a month Patreon sponsorship from Eagle Fam. In lieu of that mid-roll ad, I will now read a poem of my own devising. I call this one, Like Your Enemy. I made war on the sea and became the waves. I made war on the peaks and became the stone. I made war on the heavens and became the sky. I made war on my neighbor and died flesh and bone. Until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring. Okay, what do you guys think? Was the short pause the way to do it? That was the third take on that. Flails, you didn't miss the whole stream. We're currently trying to read the poem different ways to see which one could be the best delivery. Billy C says that was a sweet spot. Luna Lily on RuneScape says that was perfect. Jonathan Cheslow says perfect, that was great. Aria Melendez says I love that one. Fawcett Rememberly says that was excellent. VJP says very nice. A lot of people are saying I like that one best. See, this is why I do this in front of a live studio audience, guys. You guys are making the YouTube videos better. Matt Lewandowski says I like number 2. Yeah. And died should be lower pitched. Short pause is the way to go, though. And died. Well, Marco Hase says, oh, like your enemy as in similar to them, not like your enemy as in be friends. Well, it's actually a play on the love your enemy or love your neighbor. It's a combination of a play on something Sun Tzu said and something Christ said. But yeah. People are saying, Matt Lewandowski says all 3 were good, but number 2 was his taste. That's fine. We're trying different things here. Yeah. Well, okay. So we have got an episode put together. It's not going to be a very long episode because of all the technical problems we had. But hey, good evening, Mike Tavius. 3rd has better pacing. 2nd has better emotion. Cerulean says, wow, so many layers. Well, that's part of what makes poetry good, is it should have a lot of layers. So I was going to say, if you guys haven't already seen the announcement video for the album that my brother and I put out, I'm going to go ahead and pull up a link for that now. I know it's kind of rude to raid myself, but we put a lot of work into getting this album out the door, and that's why I haven't done a lot of Hermitcraft this week. And I really do want people. Sometimes people see a video with my face on it, and they're like, "That's not Hermitcraft. I don't want to click on that." But you know what? Maybe if you like my Hermitcraft stuff, you would like my weird video where I pretend to be a doctor.
Howdy, y'all. It's your friendly.
Like that's cool to me. I think it's cool. So here we go. I'm gonna paste that in here so you guys can watch that on your way out and check out the album. And until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring. And I'll play a song from the album to play you out. This one's called Lines. I wrote it, my brother performs it.
Power line to convey a certain brilliance, a telephone line to carry a voice, a metro line to bring us all downtown. Lines of connection, communication, not the borders of boundaries that slice and dice a nation. Divided by the chalk lines of disreputable history, past failures are laid out as we shrug with absent mystery. Those bodies left behind us while we amble on ahead, fearful of the wrong things from newspapers unread. Before I tell you what to do or you try to tell me, let's all see what's been done and where we could have been. By knowing what's before us, the path might clear ahead and focus on new obstacles uncharted by the dead. A power line from a gurgling turbine, a telephone line from a quiet room, a metro line from across the city. Maybe we'll all raise our glasses soon. They say across the fence line the grass is always virtuous, but we're not corralling cattle, fearing wranglers about the murders. When we look out past dividers, we're unsurprised to see more folks erecting fences, becoming detainees. Before I worry about you or you worry about me, let's all dwell on ourselves, we're the private enemy. Becoming who we're meant to, virtuous and creative, we won't dread the different, the strange or unrelated. A power line to convey certain brilliance, a telephone line to carry a voice, a metro line to bring us home, to bring us home. I put the cogs into the box and then I've got another load. After a while my arms will get tired and then this job